It's February the 7th, 2022, and here I am at the Nuthurst Community Allotment, standing by the composting lavatory that I built. There's a door there, and there's a door there, and then this will all be smoothed out, and there will be a pallet, and on the pallet will be a big plastic pot of some kind, and above that there will be a hole, and you lift up the lid and sit on it, and when you're done you just cover everything that you've done in sawdust. The main thing about this building is the view. That's about 30 foot down there, and that's our little stream that goes down to the pub, and that's the woods, and nobody ever goes in the woods there. So in order to get in, obviously you've got to go beyond the door in order to get in here. That's the tub there is kind of where I'm going to make the hole in the floor. The plan is to have a nice little bookshelf. Oh, there will be electricity in here, by the way. Oh, there will also be a floodlight, so that when you're sitting here at night, all of the woods here will be illuminated beautifully. And there's going to be a nice comfy chair and an angle poised lamp, and you can come up here and peruse the books, which will be on subjects allied to, I don't know, horticultural, agricultural, food, cooking, strange lavatories around the world, etc. Here we are in the second year of the exotic fruitery. These are the fruit trees that we got in the greenhouse because they need a little bit of winter protection, like the citrus. We've got lemons, oranges and grapefruits. They need a bit of protection during the winter, but the main reason for having them in the greenhouse is because they need more heat to ripen. And they just do better under glass because we're a bit too far north for some of these things. So these are loquats or nespolo, or as we now like to call them, because we have Mickey from Osaka, who's Japanese, and of course these come from Japan. And so we now like to refer to them by their Japanese name, which is biwa. So the biwa are growing spring, look. You see that? That's new growth on the biwa. That's pretty exciting. The peaches, they are coming into flower. So as soon as they come into flower, we will get active with our little cotton wool buds on a stick going around being a bee to make sure they're all fertilized properly. The lemons, we're learning all sorts of things about citrus. They fertilize and they produce these tiny little fruits. Obviously they start little, like everything, but they to get from that, it seems to be a year to get to something maybe a little bit bigger than that, but then it's another year to get to that. So most fruits, you know, your apples and your pears and biwa and things, they all are produced in the same season. These seem to take anywhere between 2 and 3 years. When we got these plants in from Italy, these lemons were green, and that was in July, and they've done absolutely nothing until now. Look, they're going yellow, they're going lemon coloured, which is nice. This is going to be melons. We did very well with our melons last year, but they take up quite a lot of space, and we thought we need to make more use of this greenhouse. So we'll put up some sort of string, and we'll train the melons along here. Here we are in the greenhouse where we grow tomatoes, aubergines, padron peppers. We did have some melons in here last year, but I think this year they're all going to be in the fruit house. Cucumbers we did have last year. They did well, but so did the ones outside, and we wonder really whether we need to have them inside, because they were just as good outside. We had tomatillos. Nobody knew what to do with them. Some people like them. I don't think we're going to do them this year. These are all raised beds. Everything else is essentially in the ground. These are not. This is a bit like growing things in pots. So they are more reliant on us watering, and nobody particularly likes watering. It's quite boring. And we must water more this year, because I think that was possibly, the reason why the peppers didn't do very well, because they're mostly water. Here we are by the compost heaps. We've got 3 bays. All the new stuff goes in there, and then the stuff down here, some of it's getting on for a year old. So we're using this, in fact we've used quite a lot, you can see. When that's finished, which I will probably be in a couple of weeks, we will then start putting all the new stuff in there, and then when that's used up, we'll use that. There's a circulation of the way in which we use these, which is pretty obvious, and it seems to be working very well. It's been a dry month, and there seems to be a general consensus that covering a compost heap to keep the rain off is quite a good thing. So I put some corrugated iron on it, which will help keep it dry, and we hope that helps, but that was only this weekend. One of the things we've realised with this allotment is there's a certain reluctance to eat the stuff. Everyone seems to like growing it, but not everybody seems to want to grow it. And we wondered whether part of it was because it's a bit messy and it makes a mess of your lovely kitchen. So what we've done here is we've been given a sink and a stand, and I've supplied scrubbing brushes and knives, and it's right by the compost heap, so all the preparation can be done here. So I'm even going to get some peelers so that you can actually take your vegetables home fully prepared. No mess in your kitchen is almost as good as buying them in weight trays. We're just going to do exactly the same as last year, but better.